Hello everyone, so this is Swetha today. We are going to discuss about communication and it is being sponsored by Haadi. Okay, so communication. So communication is very important in our daily life. So everyone has their own communication. So we communicate. Uh, Communication depends on the part of speaking, writing, and we communicate with our own languages too. So we will know what is communication exactly. So communication is giving and exchanging ideas, information, signals, and messages through approximate media, individual or group, seeking to the information to express emotions. So communication is an act of giving and receiving information. As I told you, in the other words, talking or writing, listening or reading, good communication listens carefully and speaks clearly and respects everyone's opinion. So communication is completely based on how we communicate, and before communicating we should make sure we listen to the person who is talking to you. And now we are going to see about three different types of communication. So first one will be verbal, and the second one will be non-verbal communication, and the third one will be visual communication. So we'll just discuss about verbal communication. So, verbal communication involves using languages, words, and the purpose of passing intent messages. In general, it is face-to-face communication. So, we communicate with a person on face-to-face. And non-verbal communication is a type of communication. It's a form of messages without verbal communication. We send mails, WhatsApp, SMS, etc. So without seeing the person in face to face, we communicate with just by messages, WhatsApps, etc. So that is non-verbal communication. And visual communication is communicating through visual aids like drawing, play cards, presentations, and etc. by signals. So we have 12 different types of communications. The first one will be verbal communication. So we are just going to discuss about 12 types of communication. So verbal communication, written communication in body languages, sign languages, musics. So these are few kinds of communication which we are going to discuss today. So the first one will be verbal communication. So before, as we spoke about, so verbal communication is most basic element in our human life. It enables us to talk with each other in person. So verbal communication is very important when you're looking for job or engaging business. In addition, verbal communication helps to build or even break the relationships. So nowadays, the employer look for job seeking and the process to skills. It includes a verbal communication. Without verbal communication, it would be very difficult to interact with the senior and colleagues at workplace. So verbal communication, without verbal communication, it is very, very difficult to communicate with anyone. So higher authorities might be a workplace or anyone who is a senior person. So verbal communication is very, very important. So we'll just discuss about the second communication. It is written communication. So written communication began at last 500 years ago. In modern era, so we communication error by writing letters, notes, memos, etc. So ancient people used to send pigeons for a longer distance to convey their messages. But written communication by making possible people to send letters for a foreign countries within a seconds. So nowadays we send messages, it gets delivered in few seconds. So books, newspapers, or also the form of written communication which give us knowledge and entertain us. So So here are some pictures which talks about modes of communication. So through this modes, we just communicate with the people. So it is by computers, radio, we get information, telephone, we give information, we reach information. So we have lots of form of communications which is interactive today. It's all a different types of modes of communication. So the third one will be electric communication. So electric communication is allows to convey information by using landlines, mobiles, emails, instant messages, websites, social media platform, videos, TVs, etc. So these are some kinds of electric communication which we get informations when it is in the form of we get loads of informations today in a seconds. So we send SMS, emails, WhatsApps, MMS. Instantly, people receive the message and they reply back. So this is a best mode of electric communication which is used in this era. So the next one will be the body language. So body language is most important form of non-verbal communication. So it's a form of opinions that overall personality depends on your body language. So the way you present yourself, the way you get respected. So to be successful in your interviews, you have to develop your personal personality. So the important thing in body language will be your eye contact, your sitting posture, your walking style, and your lips movement, and all all come to part of your body language. It is important body language should be reflected in what we say. So the way we are, the way they identify. It is essential to develop your personality. You can do this by yourself, by reading self-help, personality improvements, and development. Reading books. So you can just do this one to improve your body language. You can read books. So take a self-help and practice on it. You will definitely get your body language to a good posture. So the next one will be graphic communication. So graphic communication is very important skill for the professional, including doctors, engineers, and designers. So graphics. Graphics is nothing but uh, speaking with the pictures. Literally using pictures to show what you want to. For example, you look around your home or office, you will find several examples of graphic communication. So here is a picture says in an office we usually have this one. So the percentage have we go has the companies grown up or gone down, or what is the status exactly, and it all talks about graphic communication. So graphic communication, it's possible to convey information to the people do not speak your language or are illiterate too. So you might have seen a signboards. So signboards, it obviously tells literate or illiterate or the person who don't know a language but still see the signboard and get to know it is no entry or a stop signal. So it is all a communication. So we get communicated by graphic communication. So we just see the picture and identify what it is exactly. So the next one will be hypothic communication. So hypothic communication is nothing but whenever you touch someone to express something. So it is commonly used in everyday. For example, a teacher pats a student's back for performing well. So this is hypothic communication. So hypothic communication is nothing but without expressing by words, you just show, you just pat someone's back, or you just shake hands, or you just express your love, or you just express your the way by just giving the smile, etc. So these will be hypothic communication. And hypothic communication, it might go wrong as well. So you should not make someone feel uncomfortable with your hypothic communication. So we should make sure when we are communicating with this, make sure we are doing it in a proper way. So hypothic communication allows you to express emotion without using words. It's often used by a doctor or a nurse to comfort the patients. So show you the picture. So this will be hypothic communications image. So without telling a word, we just tap someone to express your love or to appreciate them. It is exactly the same thing. So the next one will be music communication. So music communication is also used to mean the communication. Songs and tunes are made to convey various modes. So today, music communication is very important. So good music can make you happy and come out of stress. And the sad music, it can make you feel sad. This is how music communication works. And it is the oldest form of communication. Since very long, they sing songs to just to come out of the stress thing or just to make refreshing and just to express their sadness, they sing songs. So modern world music is used to effective means a bridge to connect hearts. So by music we can connect hearts, we can share feelings, emotions, share messages, help overall stress to change your mood. So these are music communication. So I would like to show you the image. So the codes, the notes. You could see the first image. It tells the codes. So all these are a music. So the music come out well, the success you get. So depends on the music communication. We can communicate with each other. The next one will be nothing but a special communication. So special communication in one word, it helps to communicate with the normal people as well, especially challenged people. So not only for the common people we can use communication, but the special communication will also help you to use to the specially challenged people. It is very important to educate and provide information to the person with visual and hearing impairment. So it is special communication is variously system used to convey information to the person with special need. So this image is here. So the eight will be special communication. There are some notes to be given, or by music you can express. So for all the difficult, especially challenged people, there are some or the other forms which you can communicate with them. And the ninth one will be viral communication. So this is you communicate with the blind people. So viral communication is written to help the people who are blind. For example, nowadays we have emulators. So in that there are viral codes too. So the blind people can decide which floor they wish to go without any assistance. So viral codes are also used to communicate with the military people. So at nights, they use viral codes. Visually impaired people can communicate effectively by writing virals, special papers or writing virals. Nowadays, we have a computer keyboards, monitors with virals. So we are just making sure even a blind people can read and take help without any assistance with themselves. So, so we can communicate with the viral people with viral codes with the blind people. So we should make sure we don't hurt others' feelings. So the tenth one will be a sign language. A sign language is a completely communicating with deaf and people who are suffering from hearing problems. So nowadays, sign language is commonly used to educate who have hearing problems. Educate into higher sign language practices to ensure those those who are hearing problem have equal access to opportunities to learn. So nowadays, colleges also hire teachers, those who can teach a sign language in our colleges and in the schools too. So we have an image here. So we have alphabets in sign language so that sign language where there is your problem or when they have some issues, they can communicate with sign languages too. Uh, and 11th type of communication will be international Morse code. International Morse code is another method of communicating using tunes or lights. It is usually used in ships, airlines, and radio operators. This is completely used by tones and lights. Morse code is also composed by dots and dashes. Telegram system is all around the world use Morse codes to send messages between distant places. Nowadays, military officers and there are lots of people who use international Morse code. It's just a light, a signals, or the tunes, so that they can communicate without in a difficult times where they cannot speak with each other, but still they can communicate with the lights and tunes. It is basically used in ships, airlines, radios, operators, police, militaries all around the world. So the last one will be semipora. Semipora is nothing but the it is being showed by a signals. For example, you would have seen a train guard. So he will be in the last compartment and he will be showing a signal to the first compartment. So for the driver as well. So they did not talk to each other with this corner to that corner, but still they communicate with the signals, right? So like red says stop and green says go. They have some codes like colors. They communicate by using colors and they use by sharing their by holding the flags from behind, they can understand what it is exactly. So this kind of semipora communication is only taught in the schools of military schools and training institute for the railway employees. So only these two places where we can learn this semipora. Semipora communication. So these are the 12 types of communication.
Yeah.
And I want I want to show the screen.
Yes, you can just click on yes. It came
Yes,
again. Just click once.
I clicked
Yes,
it.
I can see your screen now.
This will be the image which I showed you. I mean, our last point. It was Sempura. It is a signals. So the next, we are just going to discuss about 10 ways you can improve your communication. So it is all a practical points which you can easily learn and improve your communication skill. So first five will be which you can use it in your personal life, and the second five will be in your professional life. So the first one is don't use your complicated words. So when you convey your message, make sure people understands easily and specifically without any doubt. Oh, imagine you're speaking to someone whom you don't know. So when you speak to someone whom you don't know, you will not talk very complicated words. You will not completely use very difficult words to express your feelings. So use simple words and convey your thoughts which you want to convey it. The second one is listen actively. So listen actively is a first step to communicate. So once you listen carefully, you will communicate. Before you respond, make sure you heard everything. So please don't wait a person to stop talking or stop shaking his lips so you can start your point. It's not like that. Active listeners listens carefully and the next thing will they reply properly. So this one will be the second step, and the third one will be repeat back. Repeat back is a second stage of active listener. Do not repeat what I'm sorry. So repeat what you heard. So once you hear something, just repeat to make sure you've heard it properly, and make sure just make yourself comfortable and make yourself think what will be the answer is. So the second stage of active listeners to just repeat what they've said, including your response. So just repeat what they said and as well your response. So this can help the person also understand that you've understood, and you will also understand what it is exactly. The fourth point will be your body. So it is completely when you cannot understand exactly what the opposite person is talking to you, just show your facial expressions, so they will understand. Or just tell them that you need a pause, and you can just show it by your facial expressions, and without non-verbal communication, you can just show. It is easily understood by facial expressions, so the person can understand that you got confused. To avoid confusion, you should show your body languages. So by expressing your facial expression, you can show that whether you've understood the information or not. The fifth one will be show respect. So show respect is don't show multitask while communicating. So don't ever using mobiles, drowning, or in meetings, make sure you're professional and respectful. So when you give respect to the person opposite, so when someone is communicating to you, don't use your mobiles, and especially without logistically sitting. This will obviously hurt the opposite person. It shows that we are not respecting him anymore. So we should make sure by working on these 5 points, you can improve your communication. So these 5 points will help you to communicate with a person whom you don't know or at home. These 5 points will help you a lot. So the next 5 points which we are going to consider is at your workplace. So workplace, how to improve my communication. So the sixth point will be match the message to a medium and start and end with key points. So use limited words, use approximate words, use correct words, and clear sentence, limited words, just to make sure you convey what you require. So you have to convey your message with limited words. So that is very, very important. And start and end with the key points will help you remember what you have already spoken, what you want to speak later as well. So it can help you to convey your messages in a very good form. So it will help the opposite person understand what it is exactly. The seventh point will be know your audience. If you are a boss, just make sure the opposite person is your employee, but make sure you understand the way you talk. So the tone matches. So the tone will be our voice tone, our facial expression again, and the timing. The timing you communicate with the person. So just understand what the opposite person is. So before you talk to a person, know your audience is completely understand the opposite person. So you have to just talk to their limit. So only if they can understand little, you have to just give little information. So if they are good enough, so you can give lots of information. But the timing matters, the tone obviously matters. So both of this will help the person to communicate better in your workplace. And the third one will be smart text. Text smart. It is completely when you send a mail, Don't use complicated words, or if you don't use complicated words, it will obviously help to avoid misunderstanding and misinformation. So, how to use smart text. So, you want to convey something, just convey it in your simple words, which will not create any misunderstandings. So, just convey it with the same communication skill you want to, and make sure you convey the text, smart text. That is, uh, don't send a big emails, or just arrange for a small meetings. So with a small matter, you can just convey lots of things. And the ninth point will be making meetings matter more. So people, you just make a meeting, so make sure the time would be spent well. So the people, you invite five people for a meeting, so five people will have five different works, but still they spend some time. So they, we have to matter, we have to take care, we have to make sure the time is well worth. The next one is don't invite unnecessary people. So for inviting people, yes, of course, we have to invite people, but make sure you don't invite a large group. Just invite little people who are very important to convey the information. It is must to convey your information. So make sure you don't invite unnecessary people and invite only necessary people. And the meeting is productive enough to justify every attend. So we should make sure the meeting is productive. So when we tell something, it should have some productivity, right? So in the same form, we should be productive enough to justify every agenda. Take time and resource for the workload. So just take time to communicate with the person, understand the person, and see what can be done more to be productive enough. So make your meetings more productive. And the last one, it can be followed by your personal or in your professional life as well. So keep it positive. So whatever stress it might be, don't ever show to the opposite person. So stay positive. The put your team first. So don't talk about the personal matters. So when you start talking about personal matters, the professional life or a personal life goes for the toss. So when we start talking about professional, so we have to convey what it is exactly. So we talk about official matters, yes, financial matters, yes, of course, and lots of how to work on the employees, exactly. So these are the things which we can talk, but avoid talking about your personal life. So when you talk about personal life, you keep it, you cannot keep it positive always. So keep it positive. Make sure you're being positive enough, and keep your focus on your personal as well professional life. Makes you, when you work on your communication skill, exactly, it makes you feel positive enough. So keep positive. It is very important. So we'll just consider the 10 main points. Do not use complicated words. Active listener. So you listen carefully, repeat back what you heard. And the fourth one will be your facial expressions. And fifth one, show respect. And in your professional life, send medium messages, start and end key points, know your audience, smart text, and meeting matters more. And 10th one will be your keep it positive. So in today's section, we just get to know about 10 steps which we can improve our communication as well in your personal or your professional life. So you can just work on it. Not only you, we can also work on it. So we are just working on it exactly. So all this matters in every situation which we meet. So I would like to end my seminar now. So it is the conclusion. So communication is not just a word.